Hello there, and how are you? This is Eshuchi Lumumba, and this is the Opinion Canvas. I'm excited to bring you the third episode of the podcast today, and I hope you're tuned in. Thank you very much. However, way you're coming through, thank you for the shares that I've received around. Thank you for the insights. Thank you for, of course, the comments that I have also received, and I appreciate your support. Continue sharing. Continue telling a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe. Most of my, not most actually, all of my episodes are full on Spotify, and that is the place to really get the full episodes. So today I'm going to tell you a simple story, or rather an old story. I grew up in the village. I'm a village boy. I tell people I'm a village boy, and for some reasons people always find a way to imagine that maybe I'm someone who was raised in the city. I am not. I don't know who gives them the impression, because I do not. I'm a proud village boy. And so in the village, I schooled in village schools, and not just village schools, but literally home schools. So I went to Arambe Nursery School, then I went to Arambe Primary School, and then to Arambe High School. I'm probably lucky there wasn't Arambe College or something. I would have gone there. But so this is the story. I also schooled in an era where I want to imagine education was still very much a means of mobility. You know, it was that surest way to make it through. Unlike these days, I think tables are changing a bit. That's why you find conversations like, you don't have to go to school. I mean, we have people who didn't go to school and they're doing well. Oh, you people who are scoring A's will work for the D people. Okay, all that story for another day. So for me, right from a very young age, I knew I wanted a better life than the life in which I grew. And this better life, the only ingredient in it that was the surest media for me was education. And so I tried my level best to study within the capacities and the resources that were available then. And even when I was getting good grades to get to high school, the facilitation wasn't there. So I wasn't able to go to the school or a school that would have helped me easier into the university. Back then there was also the factor of, which high school do you go to? The schools that performed better. And so you're sure, if I found my foot into Mangu High School, chances are I'm going. By the way, I was selected to go to Mangu. Those Mangu boys didn't get there. So I went to my village school in Arambe, and it was a long shot. By long shot, I mean a long shot, because even the school's history in terms of performance almost dictated that, we are average people, and the best we have done here in the past forever is probably get a C+ and something. And back at home, my dad had made it very clear, dude, if you get out of high school and you cannot be admitted to the university through the legitimate means, or rather, legitimate probably is the wrong word, but through the job selection and the government sponsorship, then no one is taking you for a parallel course. No one is able to afford your college fees. No one is taking you to something else that would still require money. And so with that at the back of my mind, I had the knowledge that this has to be it. I have to figure out a way to ensure that I extract the best grades from this school that would then get me to university rather. For me, getting to campus was a non-negotiable for me as a personal goal. Now, why am I telling you this story? Thing is, I managed to work hard and get grades good enough to get me to campus. And I remember I had a best friend. His name was Samson Ochido, and we had the same goals pretty much. He also made it to campus, just so you know. Our year was massive. We had like a mass admission to the university. But one day we used to, not one day, but rather we used to banter with Ochido, and he would tell me, man, we need to study to the point that even if we are the very last people that JAB will select, even if the door will close right behind us. Yani hata hiyo mlango kaa itafungwa nyuma yetu, bora sisi tufanye nini? To make it to job. And we laughed at that for a while. It's right now that I think about what that meant. For us, it was so important that we made it to university, that even the intensity or the significance or the merits or the compartments that came with going to the university didn't even matter. At some point, we would be like, I don't care what course I'm going to be called for as long as I step the university gates. But anyway, what this episode is about, or what I am engineering towards, is the cost of options and lack of thereof. As an adult and as life has gone through, I have loved the luxury that comes with options. You know, I can sleep here or here. I can eat this or that. Options. I can earn from this or that. I can work here or there. I can drive this or that. Options are beautiful, and they give you that beautiful luxury of life. They give you self-worth. They give you status. You stop being a beggar because you don't have to look like, you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to make it if you don't come through for me. But there's a flip side to options that I have learned. Sometimes when your options are very diverse, then the intensity with which you put in the work to achieve whatever goals you have also diminish, because you feel like I can do. You barely give your best. At any given point, you're like, okay, I will give this a try 2 or 3 days. If it doesn't work, really, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I can always abandon this and go to that. And I see how much impact this has had in every aspect of life. Look at relationships, for example. Someone annoys you today, your partner annoys you today, and the first thing in your head is, okay, let me check my social media DMs and see who else is over here, because where's niletea, I mean, where's your oxygen or whatever. So you're like, okay, on to the next. This isn't working, on to the next. And you realize that with these, the options is creating a culture of mediocrity in terms of the value or the intensity of what we are giving to things. This does not work. I have another option, so let me rush to this. Why am I talking about this? I do not remember putting my mind and putting my head onto something like I did when I was trying to study for my KCSE. That is, I don't remember that level of, you know, do or die kind of a situation in my life, because then I was like, this is it. It has to go through. And the level of intensity and attention that I gave to that period and that goal was conceived of the reality that if this does not go through, I do not have another option. So the lack of options then always extracts the best out of us. Completely. Today, wake up and uambiwe sasa skiza, hii ndio job iko available and this is all you can do. You know, these people who are very choosy with jobs is, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, mi job lazima ianze maybe ka 50k. That sayo ni mse ametoka kampo the other day, job lazima ianze this much. So you place standards. Of course, the standards are also consistent with the illusion in your head of the options you have. Sometimes it's illusional because they're not there as much. But anyway, the whole theory is you have options, you feel you have a bargaining power. The availability of a bargaining power then takes away your ability to give your best, because eti mnataka band, mimi ufanya mziki but mnataka band, hii dodo mnataka kutoa. Kuna wase walikuwa wananitafuta kesho manze kama mwezi fika nini. So you realize we're not even closing deals because there's potentiality for a better deal. You're dating someone for ages, you're not closing, you're not sealing it into a marriage, although that's what you want. That's secretly what usually everyone wants, by the way. Is this that social media has given us a voice to to sound like we don't want it until you find people lonely in their spaces. But we always have the desires to have a particular thing. But because the options are available to us, like, okay, you know what, let me hold on to these, nikimark time na yeye, as I look out there, I still have one, two, three here. Options are very beautiful because that is the desire of everybody. Options can be very disastrous and get mediocrity out of us if we have not affirmed ourselves with the discernment of understanding what self-discipline, self-intention and purpose is. It is only until you're purposeful about what you want that you get to decide, you know what, I am going to have 3 or 4 options. Maybe there are money, income making options, or there are options to things that I own or things that I can delve myself into. But I'm also going to be intentional about the level or the intensity of attention that I give to each. I'm going to be deliberate about how much work I put in. Without that, options, how often than not, bring the worst out of us. What I'm saying is options are beautiful, but they need a lot of management. Lack of options will always bring the best out of you. Wake up one day and to the reality that you do not have a place to sleep or a place to call home, and you're in this Nairobi. Hakuna mtu atakufa. That's when you'll know how elastic humans are. You'll know how elastic your mind, your will can go when there are no options. Get threatened by death today in the moment, or just some physical confrontation that is maybe threatening your livelihood. You realize just how strong a person you are. It's because at that point in time, in the moment, you have no option but fight. So I think the balance is far to achieve, but if achieved, if you can understand and if you can be able to bring in your power, your intensity, your attention, deliberateness to put in the work, even when you have, an array of options, I think you'd be unbeatable as a person. I would desire that. It's my desire. I try. It's my desire. The ability to, or the convenience to have options, yet with the discipline that then goes into ensuring that each option is fed and treated as though it's the only option. My name is Eshuchi Lumumba, and until next time, this is the Opinion Canvas. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Till next time, cheers.